All right, so I have about 20 different things to say, per usual. I'm sitting here watching some fox-like animal across the lawn over here. All right, so this morning I went to Tai Chi, and that was really cool. I was thinking about two things. Freshman year of college, when I had a lot of fun with all the people that I hung out with and just was authentically having a good time. Two, one time when I took a microdose of medicinal mushrooms, and it was actually a bad experience. And essentially, I felt like I was alone and I was unloved, and the shadow self came out. And yeah, that was two visions that really popped up in my mind in my meditation this morning, all while I was in a group of great individuals. And afterwards, when we were all sharing, I felt disconnected and like I couldn't laugh, and like I had this heavy burden and heavy chest feeling. Maybe my heart was closed, I don't know. The point is, put this in the bag. Like my chest is just so heavy. I had a great 4th of July with family, but something inside me hurts. It's funny, actually. I was on the boat yesterday, on the pontoon boat, and I got a Facebook request from a guy that did retreats with me. He was in Mexico, and now they're in Guatemala. And he was someone that I felt like I didn't connect with, but yet he sent me a friend request on there. That was interesting. And then while I was on Facebook, like I'm never on Facebook, but I saw that. And then I also saw my timeline. And I saw my birthday from 2025 in December, and I saw like 15 people wished me a happy birthday. And I was like, whoa, you know, like I feel seen, I feel cared about. Like someone just sent me a friend request, like all these people wish me a happy birthday. Like I do matter to someone, and I do, my voice and my truth, you know, does need to be expressed to somebody. And I like to talk about in life. There's like a dragonfly on me. That's also a crazy symbol. So I like to talk about, let me make sure it's filming, because I'm low on storage. I feel really good right now. I feel like I'm able to channel the divine and also filter my thoughts for now. It's gonna get lost in translation in a second. Yeah, there's like 4 more things that just popped up in my head. Shit. Shit. Now I have to choose which one I talk about. Philosophical concepts. I literally just thought of like 3 more, and I can't even articulate it. So I'll jump to this one. The church analogy. The girl was talking to me. I said, "What's your story? What brought you here?" She said she was gonna die. You know, somewhat. She had celiac disease, and essentially, like, you know, that just was her like guide to like, you know, reach out to God more. So here I am doing my meditation and Tai Chi, doing my God stuff. I can pivot to 2 things. Whenever we have these like deja vu moments, these like quantum reality things like happen to us, like it's always like this beautiful reminder of like a moment in your life of like, whoa, I felt this, I felt that. And like the light bulb, and like God or universe is always trying to guide you in that right direction. That was kind of what I was trying to articulate, but it didn't hit the light bulb like I thought it would. I'm gonna go with this one. It's almost like what we've done is already happened, and like the whole future past like thing is fucking with me. But essentially, like whenever you are hit with a mirror, the grateful meditation. I'm grateful for this person. I'm thinking of Michaela on the drive here. Okay. Last Sunday after church, I was feeling peaceful, and I had the same thing. I had to come to this field. I had to content create here. I had to think about this person, think about that person, extrapolate this. Oh, I want to go to Europe. Why do I want to go to Europe? Oh, well, remember that time you were in Europe and you had that super real, authentic conversation in the hostel with all those random people? That's what I just felt, okay? I felt that veil just lift from my chest, okay? Like, okay, the girls are great. But I was recording the mess. And then when she had me open up the book on my phone, I think she saw that I was recording, and I felt that. And maybe I don't know. I can't make assumptions, but it's like, why are you recording? And like, that's a trust X altogether. And I like to just say, from a defending standpoint, God knows, like, I just was trying to get the information. And like, for example, I told the guy, I was like, last week was all about how your body is a temple and how you have to treat it with care, and any addictions or distractions, you're supposed to not allow that to get in, which in my experience, I have had trouble with that. So then I said, well, today, I don't really know. I was tired, and it was good though. That's where like I go back to a recording and I try to like dig as deep as I can to really extrapolate the hidden meaning, the hidden message between what that person was saying. Somebody I know mentioned about their son and how they had concussions and they were in a car accident and all that. And like, I know that one. She's like, I'm going back to the church for that. And I'm like, that's nice. That's great. Yeah. So I'm going to shift gears again, because now I'm like not liking the direction I'm talking. But I'm 8 minutes in. This is at least good content, right? If anything. I'm going to pivot back to Mark at the end of that, talk. He's right next to me. Again, people that you meet in your life remind you of somebody else that you've met in the past. Whether it's their look, whether it's their aura, whether it's their energy, their personality, whatever it is, okay? Like Olivia from my group club. She's amazing. She's beautiful. I love her energy. Awesome. She's kind of like my older sister, okay? Like Sammy. Again, 30 years old. Like, I don't know what sign she was. I know Olivia was an Aries, and my sister's an Aries who's 30 years old. So there you go. It's like already set in stone. But you get a beautiful pivot of, one, she's fucking beautiful. But two, she's like actually like tapped into like some of this. Like my sister is too, but she's a different individual with a different experience, yada, yada. So every person that you meet is going to give that to you, okay? I worked at a door-to-door sales job at Amazon Business, and I said to myself, these guys that I work with are honestly amazing. They're great people, and I'm learning so much just being around them. And I know one of them, there was one morning that we actually got into a little argument, and just about like money and wages, and he was in the restaurant industry for years, and I was like, oh, 80,000 or whatever a year is great. And he's like, no, because I had to work like 60 hours a week. And I was like, okay, whatever. But that alone, I remember the energies were just bickering, and we couldn't agree. And I was like, dude, this doesn't fucking matter. And then I remember he cock blocked me on my last day at the job when I met a beautiful girl. And I don't want to say cock blocked because he didn't, but I just, funny enough, remember there was an exchange, and he was there and she was there, and it was like, nah. And I was trying to be open, and it wasn't that. And point is, his face looked exactly like this guy in the church, okay? So think about like a poor experience face-wise, but then you see this guy glowing, okay? He is glowing. And not only that, it's presence. Like, he's full presence, and like he's there. And I'm like trying to like shoo him away a little bit, and he's like, no, he's like still sitting in it. And I'm like, because I'm trying to test it. Like, I'm trying to test if he's just being fake. And I don't care if he is. That's great. He's just trying to be friendly. But I'm like, shit, like he's actually like absorbing my energy, and he's actually like understanding it and resonating with it. And like, I have to meet him there. And then I start to feel that, and I'm like, shit. And then like, I start to tell him about myself, and I'm like, shit, like this is it. And then like, I start to feel that feeling in my chest start to lift up. So essentially what that is really interesting. It's kind of like this closed off feeling. I told the girl that too. And she's like, well, maybe, me and the three girls don't have to be the person to do it. Cause I was trying to hint at her that there's this like, that. And like, but there's the other part of me that was like, shit, I want to connect with them so bad. And like, I felt annoyed because I was standoffish, but like, that was me trying to project that onto them. So then they'd feel like they couldn't talk to me. And there's this whole like, and then I'm like, no, just open your heart. And I try to do that today, and I like get a glimpse of it, and I'm like, what do I want here? Am I just like sexually attracted to this person? Do I want to connect with them? Do I want like what? Both. There's for sure both. Because I was getting that yesterday. Like, I'm like at that, the beer pong, and it's like stunning girls looks wise, but there's just nothing. Like, you can't even like budge anything. And the second you do, it's like, I know, like I don't know because I didn't try. But then there's this like Irish girl that won't stop talking. But I loved it. But I also was like, stop. Like, I'm exhausted by you. But I'm also like, you're the only person, that's just going to, be there in the water and just shoot the shit with me. And I'm learning so much. And it's like the culture thing too. And then the girl today is talking about how she's talking all these different languages. And I'm like, oh, that's it. I need to just channel this. I am the divine, like, communicator. Like, that's my calling. This is the stuff I want to do. Like, this is kind of cool. Just like this. But then I had to sit with that. And then I was like, that's it. I just want to go to Europe and go back to what I said before. So again, this is my stream of consciousness. It is crazy. It is confusing. It is obnoxiously overwhelming sometimes. And sometimes I just numb it out. And sometimes I try to, listen to it. Then I go into my driveway and then my two roommates are there. I'm like, well, shit, man. The second I go in there, my whole day is going to shift because I'm going to get down the rabbit hole. I'm going to go into the fridge. I'm going to eat some food. I'm going to get in a conversation. Then am I going to be closed offish or am I going to be open? If I'm closed off, then my energy's off. If I'm open, then my energy goes all over here and then I'm not creating content in my goal. And that is tough too, okay? And then even my mom, like I feel her all weekend. And I'm like, what do you need? What do you need? But she's also doing her thing and it's great. And I just slept there last night. It was wonderful, but I get in at like 1:30 a.m. in the morning, right? So it's like late. Okay, whatever. So what's the point, Mike? The point is, anytime you are in your body, somatically, something doesn't feel right, you just gotta sit with it. And like, this is me trying to make meaning out of all of that, like the cobwebs. And it goes back to what Mark says, maybe you're not ready, but he left me with the grace. And like, that's what it is. Like, sometimes you aren't ready to receive. And that's what it almost felt like sometimes with Sammy and Olivia. Like, they were trying to help me, but I wasn't, and I was trying to take it, but it was just the frequencies. And then I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, this is why, like, I can't attract love in my life because I'm just so fucking mad with the market and distracted, right? Like, I'm so fixated on that and numbers that it's totally like left brain, right brain. And, when she does the reading with me, like, she's like, you're meant to serve like, do this type of stuff, like just community service. And like, I mean, I'll go back to like my mom and the priest in Millis. Like, he went to Bentley University, did the finance route, and he's a priest now, okay? Like that. And then I look at his face, I feel his face, I feel him, and I say, that's awesome, and I appreciate you. But, what practice is going to work, right? Like, I think to myself today, I'm like, I'm going to talk to this person. And then I'm thinking to myself, wait a second. Did I blow that opportunity when we met each other twice in the grocery store? Just like these girls met me twice at the grocery store, right? Like, and then I say, oh, it's meant to be. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like, I'm like, no, it is. And I'm like, perfect. I'm going to reach out to this girl and this girl and then everyone, this person, and fucking dump it all. And the timing is perfect. And this is so it. Because I feel it. I feel the block. Like, I had a dream, okay? I literally had a dream that my buddy from high school in Cape Cod and I were hanging out, and my other friend from high school in Cape Cod were hanging out, and this shadow self shit of like, they're hanging out, doing their thing, I'm barging in, but they love me, but it's this thing, and then da-da-da. And it's like, what was that? Am I supposed to do that in real life? I really wanted to. But I knew that it was not in the cards. It wasn't. The odds. You could have tried, but even now, but me saying it, maybe later in the summer, I don't know. But there is this deep desire to connect, to laugh, to have a good time, but really have it. There's playing beer pong with a bunch of strangers, but there's actually feeling joy, okay? And like, sometimes I don't get that from those activities, okay? Watching fireworks is incredible. But again, like, I'm feeling it. And, you can body tap all you want, the woo-woo, the shit. But like, you can talk it out with a coach and woo-woo and shit. But sometimes it just doesn't move the needle. Sometimes things just work out and you're like, aha, like, but that's the thing with Mark. I actually laughed with him right there. And then the dude's like, I'm a fucking mechanic. He didn't say it like that. I'm a mechanic. And then I see his 87 Cadillac or whatever. I'm like, this dude's a fucking man. And I'm like, holy moly. I just met like God and the cool guy. And that's what I like to say. The cool guy, right? There was this guy that my sister went in high school, my sister's grade. And essentially, when we went to volleyball open gym before the entire season, this dude would show up all in the tattoos, super high, blaring the music playlist, like the Jay-Z, like shit. Oh no, gotta free, like I'm dying. It's actually, the song is called Oh My God, funny enough. Whatever connection that is. But I see this dude the other day on Instagram with like a smoking